Hi everyone, so this is the look that we are going for today. It's a very colorful look, but it's a lot of like muted colors, and it is inspired by a mermaid sort of look. So I'm going to zoom you out and we're going to be recreating it on this eye right over here. Okay, so the first thing that I started out with was a paint pot. And the paint pot that I'm using is called Painterly, and it's a very nude color. So I'm just going to take my ring finger and apply this all over my lid and transfer that all the way up to right underneath my brow. And the color that I have that's closest to that is called Key Lime, and this is from Jessie's Girl. And I'm going to take a flat shader brush. So we're going to pack it on the tip like that, and we're going to place this right here on the inner part of our lid. Next color I'm going to take is called Algae, and this is from NYX, and this is gorgeous. It's such a gorgeous like greenish bluish color. So it's very aquatic. I'm going to pick that up, and this is a matte color. So if you want something that's a little bit more shimmery, I'll show you an option in a little bit, but I'm just going to complete my lid with this algae color. And I'm going to kind of leave a little chunk right here in the middle, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. So just make sure that everything looks really smooth, and now I'm going to pick up my color that is a shimmery version of this. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's pretty much the same thing, just a shimmery version. And this is also going to help kind of marry the two colors together, because we're going from a really frosty color to a strictly matte flat color. So I'm going to get something kind of in between, and that is Steamy, which happens to be one of my favorite eyeshadows from MAC. This is $14. This is like $2 or $3. So, you know, and they're pretty much the same color. Let me open them up for you. But they're pretty much the same color. This is matte, and this is frosty. But this is definitely a cheaper alternative to Steamy, and I love Steamy. So. And we are going to put that right here in the middle of the two colors. So it's not a harsh transition from the Steamy, or from the frosty color to the matte color. It just creates a really nice transition, a much smoother transition. So there we go. So we have a really frosty light green to the really frosty greenish teal, and then to the matte color. So you see the kind of subtle transition between the three colors. Alright, so now we're going to start with our purples, and the first purple that I'm going to pick up is Beautiful Iris, and this is by MAC. It's a very pale purple. This is really sheer, so I'm going to put a ton of layers on my lid. Actually, I'm going to be putting this above my crease. So I'm going to start that right up here, and I'm taking it all the way up to right underneath my eyebrow, just all the way up there. Okay, so I'm going to put that Beautiful Iris down, and we're going to come back to that in a little bit. I'm going to take a darker purple. This is called Satellite Dreams. It's also by MAC, and I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush. This can be a pretty intense color if you build it up with a flat shader brush such as the 239 brush, but I'm going to be taking the 217, and this is just going to give me a more softer sort of coverage. So I'm going to pat that onto the belly of the brush instead of the tip, so just the belly, and this is going to help me kind of spread the color and just lay it on my eye a little bit easier. So I'm going to start right here with blending the two colors together, and I'm using really short or really soft motions of the brush. Now, unlike the Beautiful Iris, I'm not going to take it all the way up to my eyebrow. We're actually going to leave that space open for our highlight color, but I'm just going to softly blend that into the Steamy that we have right above here, and I'm going to take that to right here where the highest point of my brow is. Now, most of the color pigmentation is going to be right here above the crease, and then as I move toward my brow, as I kind of travel the brush upward, I'm going to kind of lift the brush a little bit off my skin, just so it's kind of darker right here, and then as it rises, the color isn't as intense. Alrighty, so now we're going to pick up a pink color, and if you have Stars and Rockets, that's what I'm going to be using, but I'm going to be using it in the NYX form. So this is MAC Stars and Rockets. That's what it looks like, and this is NYX Luxor. They are pretty much the same color, same texture, same everything. So if you don't have Stars and Rockets and you really want it, but it's a little bit too pricey, pick up the Luxor. It's the same exact thing. So I'm going to be using the Luxor, and I'm going to be using the same brush. I'm going to pick it up with the belly of the brush. So we have it like that, and tap it off. I'm just going to tap it off so we don't have too much on our brush, and I'm going to continue that on from the Satellite Dreams. So I'm just patting the two colors where they meet. And again, I'm not going to take this all the way up to my brow, but just right here, and blend that outward. So we have a nice transition from like a light purple to a darker purple and then to a pink color. Okay, so notice how I'm leaving a little bit of a gap right here. We're going to put a blue color next. And that blue color is Sing Green from Face Front Cosmetics. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous aquatic blue. Very, very gorgeous. So we're going to take a different brush. I'm actually going to take a tapered blending brush. This is the MAC 226 brush. And I don't think MAC carries this anymore. It was limited edition. But if you have anything that's just tapered and also blends at the same time, go ahead and use that. Okay, and we're just very, very softly going to apply that to our outer crease and blend that into the algae, and then blend that into the Luxor. And I don't want this to be like a real intense blue. I just want it to be like a hint of blue. And make sure you soften all of the lines in between each color just so you can't really tell where each one stops and begins. Okay, so I'm going to take my highlight color. This is from Heartbreaker Cosmetics and is called At Last from their Love Song collection. And I'm going to take my big angled brush from Michaels. This is the 1/2 Low Cornell 2013 brush. And I'm just going to apply my highlight color with it. And I'm just going to focus right here on the highest point of my arch. So right there, and just bring it downward. I'm going to clean off my brush on my hand, and then I'm going to kind of drag that downward. And in this process, if you take a little bit too much off, you can always go back and add the color that you took off. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my sea green, and I'm going to pat my 219 brush in there. If you have anything small and tapered, that will do the same job. And I'm going to put that in the outer corner, and then just work that into the lower lash line. And this is still going to be really subtle. And go ahead and check back to both sides to make sure that you're even, you're lined up with everything. Then I'm going to pick up my algae again and just continue on with that line. So I'm going to go back to my beautiful iris, and I'm going to put that right here on the inner lower lash line and work it toward the inner tear duct. And then notice on this eye how I have that really nice highlight. Well, I'm going to go back to my At Last color from Heartbreaker Cosmetics, still using the same brush, and we're just going to pack that on to the inner corner. Now it looks as though our mermaid has some black eyeliner in her waterline, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm using Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in 0, so it's a very basic black, and then I'm going to lightly line my upper lash line as well. Now I'm going to apply the Lash Stiletto Mascara, and I have a review on this in case you want to check it out. Okay, so our mermaid has like super long lashes, and they're all like kind of sparse too. They're really, really gorgeous.